Tesla just canceled one of their big Model Y refreshes, and owners are furious. The internet is losing its mind. Plus, the Model 3 Performance has basically officially been unveiled. New Model Y colors are coming at any moment. We've got great evidence that backs us up. And Tesla's poor delivery numbers have some superfans rattled. And there are three big problems Tesla is currently facing they need to fix ASAP. Let me break down all the good news and the bad news happening in the wild world of Tesla over the last couple of days that you need to know about right now, and also give a big thanks to 3W Liners for sponsoring this video. Love their floor mats. Stay tuned to learn more. All right, so as I just alluded to, this video has got a lot of good news and a lot of bad news. We've got some brand new Teslas to talk about, new Model 3s and new Model Ys, but also there is some troubling Tesla data that suggests the company might be facing some critical issues, but let's talk about some good stuff first before I find my wording and get into some of the bad stuff. First update here is on the full self-driving beta, or I should say it's now called full self-driving supervised. That is the 1 month free trial rolling out to lots and lots of owners in North America. If you didn't know how this works, basically your car is going to get a special software update, and once you update, you'll be getting an email letting you know that, hey, you're going to be getting 1 month of free full self-driving supervised that gives you access to all those features, the new auto park, which is really, really cool. Summon, you're getting access to auto lane change, navigate on autopilot, and of course the full self-driving beta software that'll actually drive you around city streets. It's super, super cool. And just two things you're gonna know is that one, if you don't have full self-driving, you're gonna get a 1 month free trial. But if you do subscribe to it on a monthly basis and you pay the $200 a month, you're actually going to get an extra month free, as this is going to sort of replace your 1 month of paid subscription with a free trial. So basically everybody is getting 1 month free. I've also been seeing a lot of questions and a lot of very valid questions from Tesla commenters wondering what's going on with the Model S and Model X refresh that was supposed to be happening like months and months ago. Well, as of right now, the latest we know is that back on March 1st, according to Tesla Scope, who has a pretty good track record on this stuff, Tesla was retooling the Model S and Model X lines to add two big upgrades, a front bumper camera, like what we've got on Cybertruck, and also the interior RGB ambient lighting that we've got on Cybertruck and the new Model 3. So those features and maybe some others should be coming, but we don't exactly know what the holdup is. We know that typically in Tesla's regular fashion, it takes some time to retool those lines and get those new cars out of the production stage and onto lots. So there's obviously a good chance that now that we're in April, we will start to see those first cars that were produced with those features come out. But also there might have, well, a couple of things here. There could have been some issues that prevented these getting out in a timely manner. So maybe there's some delays, or the rumor could be totally false and there is no refresh to speak of for Model S and Model X. I'm going to take the much former approach to this. I do believe that this refresh is happening. I think it's just taking a little bit longer than expected. So I'm hoping we see these soon. If you are in the market for a Model S or Model X, I would certainly order now because it looks like you will be getting these upgrades when the vehicles are ready to go. But it looks like they're coming, just not here yet, just to give you a little bit of an update on that whole situation. Moving on to some much better news and much more exciting news is that it looks like in basically any moment now, a matter of days, Tesla will soon be launching a new color for Model Y, maybe even two new color options here in North America. Not only has Quicksilver and Midnight Cherry expanded beyond the European market, there's Quicksilver in China, you've got it over in Japan, Singapore, also in Australia, but we've also seen Quicksilver spotted at Tesla's Fremont facility in California. Multiple spottings of this vehicle have existed even just a couple of days ago over at Tesla's main Model Y plant at Giga Texas. It looks very, very likely that Tesla is gearing up to start selling and producing Quicksilver Model Ys and maybe even Midnight Cherry Model Ys here for the North American market. So if you've been waiting for a new Model Y color and that's what you've sort of been waiting for to get you excited, which is probably going to be important as we talk about the next story here, looks like that's happening. At least the evidence suggests it's happening. So stay tuned for an update probably coming pretty soon on some new Model Y colors here in North America. All right, this next story is a big one, and the keen and not so keen-eyed among you would notice a wardrobe change in this video because this story is very rapidly changing, and by the time I shoot, edit, and upload this video, there could be some moving parts here that have changed. So apologies in advance, but here's what we know right now. Basically, Tesla's all-new Model 3 Performance, Model 3 Ludicrous, whatever they call it, is going to be launching at any moment now. Actually, in fact, Tesla just held a private media event in Malibu this past week where they're not really hiding it anymore. This is it. This is the all-new Model 3 Ludicrous. We are sort of guessing that, we're presuming that the media got to take these for a spin as they drove around the Malibu area in Southern California. We got some great images of this car sitting sort of in front of the Tesla event space or the showroom that was closed for that special event. And yeah, this is your best look yet at Model 3 Ludicrous or Model 3 Performance. It's got that Ludicrous badge on the back. We know from other leaks, it's got it in the software as well. It's got the improved suspension. It's got the new front fascia design. It's got the carbon fiber spoiler. It's got the carbon fiber on the interior. It's got the beautiful sport seats. And we're hearing, for those curious, a sub 3-second 0 to 60 time, potentially a 2.9 0 to 60 time on this Model 3 Performance, which by all accounts, by everything we've seen, looks to be a really amazing car. And as of now, there are really only 3 things we don't know about this vehicle, since we basically now have seen it unwrapped in multiple different locations. It's going to be final price. That's sort of the big one. Also final specs. Rumor is sub 3 second, but we don't know what the 0 to 60 is, and other things. Range is important. And also, we don't know what the availability will be, because when Tesla launched the Model 3 Highland back in the fall, they did a very weird rollout where it's available in some countries and other countries, and it finally came to the US. So we don't know if this is going to be, hey, Model 3 Performance coming live everywhere, or if it's going to be in select countries and Tesla will sort of parcel it out on a sort of scheduled basis. We don't know. But what we do know is that this is Model 3 Ludicrous. Tesla held their official event for the media. This thing is official, it's real, and it's coming really, really soon. Now, when it comes to owning a Tesla, I feel like one of the most important accessories you can get for your car, and really the best investment you can make, is to get a good set of floor mats. You want to make sure that you're getting something that looks great, something that's going to offer great durability, easy to clean, and also is going to match the aesthetics of your car, especially your Tesla. And for me, I have tried so many, and the ones I use in my Model X, my Model Y, what I go back to every single time is the amazing collection of accessories and floor mats made by 3W Liners. There are a couple of reasons for me that 3W Liners really stands out from the crowd. Number one is a small but very important one, and it's their attention to detail in everything they do. Not only do they make great products and floor mats and even other accessories I'll show off in a moment, but it's that they care about the small stuff like the shipping box. The box you actually receive your product in isn't just like a regular brown beat up box. That sort of leads me to the second reason I love 3W Liners floor mats, and that is the aesthetics. The mats, simply put, they just look great. They are the perfect fit and finish and complement to the minimal and premium interior in your Tesla. They're made from a super high quality TPE material that's durable. And again, since these are floor mats, third reason I love them is that they're super easy to clean. What's also awesome is that 3W Liners is expanding beyond floor mats. They make amazing floor mats, but they're also expanding into some other really amazing automotive accessories. For example, they sent me over this really cool soft pack insulated cooler that is a really nice place to store different sort of outdoor storage items, and of course, beverages or sandwiches or whatever you want to keep cool with you on the go. Plenty of room inside here, made from really high quality material, gonna keep your stuff inside nice, cool, and protected. I also really love that they sent me this 50-liter storage box. It's really cool. It can be collapsed to take up basically no space. It can be super compact, but also built out to store up to 242 pounds of stuff inside. And finally, just a little bit of a check-in here 6 months later on the 3W Liners mats in my Model Y. Still look great, just like the day I took them out of the box. They've got, again, that great design. They're giving you great protection and coverage inside of your Tesla. And I especially love the seat back protection option for the trunk space of the Model Y. A lot of times things sort of get banged up around there as you're storing things in your trunk as you drive. So having that additional protection is really, really nice. And of course, all this just looks amazing. I just love the 3W Liners. I know you guys are going to love them as well. So if you want to learn more, check out all that they've got to offer, including these awesome auto accessories. Hit the link down below to learn more and check it out for yourself today. Okay, now we've got to get into the drama of the last week. There's been a lot of doom and gloom over this piece of news that I thought we should talk about and have a frank discussion about, and that is Tesla's Q1 delivery numbers, because the numbers were released a few days ago, and we were expecting a poor quarter, but I think these numbers even came in lower than what many analysts had expected. Just not very good. Sub 400,000 vehicles were delivered in Q1 of 2024, and many people think this points to some bad news for for Tesla. Demand is slowing down. The cars aren't competitive as they used to be. Maybe Elon's rhetoric is turning people away. There's a lot of factors you could pontificate and discuss, but there are a couple in particular that I've read and sort of seen pop up in multiple Tesla communities that I do think are very important contributing factors that probably led to a weaker Q1 than normal. Tesla did obviously talk about some issues they saw, the attack on the Berlin factory, Giga Berlin. There's also Model 3 production slowed down in Fremont as the line sort of retooled to start producing the new Model 3. So they had their own factors and sort of things they thought sort of contributed to those weaker numbers. But I also want to talk about three things in particular, and I'm really curious to get your thoughts on these, that many Tesla owners have voiced as problems that the company needs to address that might have contributed to a poorer quarter than normal. One reason that I've talked about on this channel previously that many other Tesla owners have brought up as a valid point, and I know I'm going to get roasted in this because people hate when I say this, but I think it's true, is that people aren't super excited about the Model Y because it's just not appealing as the Model 3 refresh. Now, the Model Y Tesla sells is a great car, don't get me wrong, especially given a lot of the incentives and price adjustments. There are some great deals to be had, but when you compare the Model Y, its older design, still the wood trim on the interior, lacking some creature comforts and all that jazz, compared to the new Model 3 with its sleeker design and more features and stuff like that, the Model Y simply looks less appealing. And even though Tesla was blatantly telling their staff to communicate to customers, no refresh is coming, don't wait, buy now, don't wait, I think many consumers are thinking, hey, I would just rather wait to spend that money when I get the new latest and greatest Model Y than buy a vehicle right now that is bound to get a refresh soon. I do think, and again, according to people I've discussed this with and different communities popping up online talking about this topic, Model Y is just not as appealing when you compare it to the Model 3. And knowing that a refresh is hopefully right around the corner, that might have been a big reason that we saw that slump in sales for Q1. Reason number two, I think is very valid and worth the discussion, that is going to vary on where you live, is that the savings aren't exactly what they used to be. Now, there are still some great incentives in terms of pricing for buying a clean air vehicle. There's different state incentives, local incentives. There's the wonderful federal tax incentive that exists. But for some people, their electrical rates or electricity rates are sort of climbing and climbing and climbing, and especially with given supercharger rates, the savings versus gas aren't exactly what they used to be. So that's one component there. The other component is with pricing, specifically with the Model 3. A great car like the Model 3 losing its federal tax credit and losing that $7,500 discount essentially does make the car a little less appealing. Now, I still do think the Model 3 is priced really well, but man, if it had access to at least half of that federal tax credit or the full federal tax credit, it would be a steal at way closer to about $30,000, depending on the model and stuff like that. I think the long range is getting up there near $50,000, and there's the cheaper version, but still, some pricing there is sort of hindered by the fact that it is losing access to that incentive. Obviously, Tesla has their reasons, different battery technologies and restrictions and stuff like that. Still think the Model 3 is a great car, but given rising electrical prices and also the fact that that car is not hitting that qualification, does make it a bit tougher to justify. Reason number three I saw brought up that I really do think is actually a very valid point is that some of Tesla's biggest selling points that existed a couple of years ago as a big reason to get a Tesla aren't exactly valid today. For one, you've got a very competitive EV landscape around the world. You've got Rivian, you've got GM, you've got Ford, and a bunch of other companies really trying to make their best effort out there to make their best EV. And with varying features and form factors and price points, the EV landscape as a whole is much more competitive than it was just a couple of years ago. So makes it tougher for Tesla to compete. You also have to look at features Tesla touted before, like the savings, which we now know, depending on where you are, those savings are significant. Some places they're less significant, like California. And also features like autopilot, which are still great features, again, just aren't as competitive when you've got other companies with their own systems that are getting better and better and much more in line with Tesla's basic offering. And one thing I saw that was interesting, sort of discussed on the Tesla subreddit, is that what Tesla should do is take enhanced autopilot. Those are the features like navigate on autopilot and auto lane change and stuff like that, auto park, and roll those in as a free offering for Tesla. Basically, Tesla should boost their basic autopilot offering and give it way in more features to keep it more competitive. And I do think that makes sense. As amazing as full self-driving is and enhanced autopilot, $6,000 or $12,000 for those extra features is a lot of money to justify, even if you do the subscription. And if Tesla wanted to make their cars more competitive, I do think bringing down some of those features, and again, it costs Tesla nothing. This is just a software switch flip in the background that happens. It's not like you have to add another component here. Being able to bring some of those features down as a basic feature, building a more robust basic autopilot that includes auto lane change, navigate on autopilot, auto park, and some other features like that, do I think make a compelling case as why people should go with Tesla. But the drama, folks, does not end there. Yet again, I'm back in my different wardrobe because things are changing, and an explosive new report from Reuters has people really fired up and is again calling Tesla's sort of future plans into question. Essentially, Reuters is saying that Tesla has internally scrapped their plans to build this cheaper Tesla. Remember, we had heard those rumors about that $25,000 Model 2. It was going to be this huge hit for the company, this huge growth spike, and was going to reinvigorate the EV market and get a lot of people into EVs. $25,000, hopefully pre-incentive, was going to be really, really great. Even post-incentive would have been a great car. Yeah, all those rumors, not happening now, according to Reuters. Where things get a little dicey is where Elon calls out that Reuters is lying, which would have you suspect that this plan is moving forward, but that doesn't actually seem to be the case. For one, Reuters so far has been spot on when it comes to leaks on Model 3 Highland. They've got their timeline on Model Y Juniper that seems to be pretty legitimate, and they've been sort of right so far on future Tesla plans. And a Elon sort of acknowledgement of another tweet seems to suggest that this report does have some validity, as maybe in his mind, Tesla isn't canceling their plans for a lower cost Tesla, but they are shifting resources away from the low cost Tesla to the robo-taxi model that they're really going to push now more aggressively than ever. But let me back up a little bit and give a little bit of context just to sort of bring you up to speed. For those who don't know, who need a little refresher, we had heard a couple of months ago, and Tesla sort of has acknowledged this is not a big secret, it's sort of an open secret now, that they're working on their next generation vehicle platform. This vehicle platform would be a smaller, almost a smaller version of the Model Y is what we heard. So that's sort of where the idea of Tesla sort of canceling their Model Y came from. It's this new next generation sort of smaller Model Y that would be this new vehicle that would serve sort of two purposes in two markets. One was going to be built as a robotaxi. This was the robotaxi vehicle that Elon had envisioned. It was running off of full self-driving. This was the future of the company, that you could jump in, no pedal, no steering wheel. You jump in, you sit back, and the car would drive itself. While that was on Tesla's roadmap, even Elon and top Tesla executives acknowledged that the plan was a little ambitious. So in the meantime, they were going to use the same vehicle and the same, basically the platform and the structure, and make a second vehicle which would pop in a steering wheel, pedals, and all the regular driver stuff, and be Tesla's lower cost vehicle. So it was sort of a win-win. Tesla got to build the robotaxi and their cheaper vehicle at the same time, and they sort of streamlined the production process as they did that. And we heard that things were moving along really well in the design of the vehicle, that Tesla was finalizing that. Elon was working on it with engineers on a regular basis. They were actually going to have the production start at Giga Texas and then build the vehicle at Mexico's plant, Berlin, and other parts of the world, Giga China, I believe, as well, or Giga Shanghai, I should say. It was going to be a big hit, and now there's a wrinkle in that plan. But what it, again, seems to signify is that Tesla isn't canceling this project. They're just shifting their emphasis and their work to the full self-driving taxi version of this plan that they believe is now in prime time and ready to go. So it seems like, again, the situation is very hairy. It looks like Tesla's lower cost vehicle is canceled as they work to build their robotaxi. So that seems to be what we've got right now. All right, guys, bit of a loaded video. So as always, drop your thoughts down below. What do you think about this? Tesla's poor Q1 delivery numbers, the canceling of the smaller Model Y, Model 2, your thoughts on full self-driving, your thoughts on the new colors. Let me know your thoughts to everything down below. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Also, big thanks to all of you who watched my previous video and gave me some ideas for the studio space. That is awesome. That is coming along, should be done soon. And we will say goodbye to the temporary setup for now. Also, if you made it to the very end of the video, I want to do some kind of code so I know you guys stay to the very end. How about we do, actually, I was going to say I could put an Amazon gift card code on screen, but I don't think I can do that. I'll do this. First, well, let's do this. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below with your favorite Tesla color for a chance to win a free Amazon gift card. I'll pick some people at random as a thank you from me to you. You guys are amazing. As always, thank you so much for your support. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. Hope I could provide some value with these videos. As always, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.